Hi everyone, I'm Dee Marie Dow. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a script consultant and I'm a blogger. Today I'm doing a TV review on Black as Fuck. And Black as Fuck is a mockumentary and it's written and created by Kenya Barrish. Kenya Barrish is a black African American screenwriter who's known for the movie Girls Trip. He wrote that. He also wrote and created Blackish, he wrote and created Grownish, and he wrote and created Mixedish. Now, I never watched Blackish, Grownish or Mixedish. I really tried with Blackish because I absolutely love Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross. I think those two are comedy geniuses and they have me in stitches. The reason I didn't watch it, I just couldn't get into it. I tried a couple of times and it just really wasn't my kind of cup of tea. So the reason why I decided to watch Black as Fuck is because, well, one, the title kind of had me really intrigued, and two, Black Twitter had dragged the hell out of Kenya Barrish and was just roasting him on how bad Black as Fuck is. I think there's a couple of reasons why people didn't really take to Black as Fuck, and I'm going to try and break it down here in this review. I'm a bit slow to the party with my review, and that's because, like I said, I didn't watch the show originally, but after reading everybody's kind of reviews and takes on it, I thought, let me watch it. And when I watched it, because let me start again actually, I did watch it initially when it first came out because of the title, and I treated it the same way I did Blackish. I just couldn't get into it. I had it kind of on in the background and I was on my phone and stuff. And that's the thing, because I'm a filmmaker, I have to watch every kind of new TV show and film that comes out, or as much as I can consume. And normally, if they don't grab me in the first 5 minutes, then I'm gone. And with Black as Fuck, it just seemed really kind of not my thing, and so I didn't really bother with it. But when I saw the backlash, I thought, all right, let me check this out. Let me really see if there's something here. And watching it, I have to say, I was actually quite amazed at how good it was. So let me kind of validate what I mean by how good it was, because I still think it was problematic, but I don't think it's getting the backlash which it deserves, and I'll tell you why now. I'll tell you one of the reasons why I think it's getting backlash. One of the reasons it's getting backlash is because people are saying it's colourist. Colorists or colorism means it's like a prejudice. It's saying that although you are part of this community of people of colour, you still have like hierarchies within that system, and the lighter your skin is, the more successful you are, the more privilege you're afforded, and the darker your skin is, the less so. And it stems back to, you know, slavery, when the lighter skinned slave could be in the house and the darker skinned slave would be in the fields. And so we, as a black community, we still suffer from colorism, and people are saying Kenya's a colorist. And the reason they're saying that, they're quantifying it by saying, if you look at his other shows, even in Blackish, the family, the main family, the mum, the dad, the grandparents and the kids are quite light skinned, and even the daughter is the darkest cast member, and her storyline is that she's kind of a bit of a vixen. She's a bit of a, not a vixen, she's a bit of a baddie. She's got this evil streak, and it's kind of synonymous with casting dark-skinned women in Black America, that the darker skinned female is the baddie. If you look in Coming to America, you've got the sister, the dark-skinned sister, who's kind of like the tramp. She sleeps with a silly old horse character because she thinks he's the prince and she wants his money, whereas the fairer-skinned sister is very virtuous, and, you know, she only wants, she wanted Eddie's character for when he was like a farmer.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Cut the BS, but this is how it was written. And if you look at some of the other black kind of shows in America, you'll see the same kind of pattern again and again and again. If you look at Greenleaf, it's in Greenleaf. It's just there again and again and again. So Kenya Barris kind of caught wind of the backlash, and he was saying the reason why everybody is of a fairer complexion in Blackish is because he modelled the show on his real life family. So this is why he cast them in the way that he did. And I think that's fair enough. I think people can't expect him to put somebody like a really dark-skinned wife when his wife is very fair and she's mixed race. The problem with that though is, and I don't think this lies solely at Kenya Barris's door, I think this is about the whole of the movie and TV industry, if you're going to, when you're doing a show about a lighter skinned family, you're going to stick to it and you're only going to put light skinned families in it. You have to do like with like, when you're casting shows about dark skinned women, like the Nina Simone biopic, then you have to cast a dark skinned woman for that role. And this is what I think people's problem is. In terms of colorism in Black as Fuck, the only issues I took with it was that when you did tend to see dark skinned people, they tend to be the help. Like, I counted very few dark skinned people in it, and that was the makeup artist, and she was dark skinned. The publicist, she was dark skinned. And there was another issue where, I think it was episode 5, which everyone's kind of unofficially agrees is the funniest of the whole series. The mum is trying, it's a really funny moment actually, the mum is trying to get the sons to be more cultured and she wants them to dance. So she tells them to go and dance next to their darker skinned cousin who's really killing it on the dance floor, and then he just makes them look silly and she calls them back. But the thing is, in doing that, it does kind of play to that trope that, you know, the black person is the person with good moves, and the Kenya Barrish's family, if they've done it purposefully, genius. If they haven't, and I'm not sure they did, then it's kind of like you're othering black people. Now you're on a certain level, you're now othering black people. And if that is the kind of purpose of the show, then yeah, then it's well done. So that's the kind of main things I saw with colourist problems with Black as Fuck. Also, I think it was episode 6 when the mother a fan came up to the mum and wanted her book signed, and the mum said, oh, you know, you too can be a lawyer of 6. And I was thinking, why would you think she isn't a lawyer or isn't capable? I didn't like that. But unless, like I say, they're purposely doing that, then okay, I get it. But you need to show you need to kind of, it wasn't quite there for me. It didn't really kind of come together. The storytelling as a whole, and I get it's a mockumentary style, but I still think it needed to be a bit stronger. I think another reason people were dragging it is because they didn't maybe get the satire kind of style in which it's told in the mockumentary style. I don't know if they quite got it or bought it. I think when I watch a comedy, I like to see a really kind of laugh out loud kind of comedy. So people are comparing it to Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Now, I didn't really like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I don't really like Seinfeld. I don't personally find his show that funny, but that's just me. That's the type of person, that's the type of comedy I like, is like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where it's really kind of laugh out loud. That type of comedy makes me laugh. So I think maybe people didn't really know what to expect. I think also people didn't relate to him, because how many black people do you know who have made it to the kind of top echelons of society, who are very well to do? Not many. And what Kenya's done brilliantly with this show is looked at the intersectionality between race, class, privilege when you're through a black lens. And I haven't seen that done before. Okay, we've had Fresh Prince, but it was kind of done in a different style, so yeah. And I just think people didn't know what to expect. And I think for me, once I managed my expectations and got what the show was, then I could enjoy the show. And I think part of that might have been poor marketing and the title. The title made people expect a different kind of show. But then again, to me, who gets to decide what is Black as Fuck? Because what is being black? Being black, as we have been fed it, is a social construct. Being black is, so you're black if you're black and you're wealthy if you're a rapper or if you're a sportsman. And this is a bit of what Kenya is kind of poking fun at. He's trying to say, I'm a black successful man, but if I go to a rich, like a fancy restaurant, unless I go there in a big flashy car and my big gold chain, then people just assume that I'm a nobody. And not that he needs to be egotistical when everybody knows who he is, but he doesn't get that kind of respect and that kudos which his white counterparts do, and they don't have to drive a big car. So he's kind of having like some kind of identity midlife crisis, which is compounded by the fact that he is a black wealthy man living in Hollywood. And I really was able to relate to him with that. Not that I'm a black, well-established screenwriter with a big gold chain and a big car, but it was just so funny that I watched this show the same week in which I had an experience before I watched the show, and where I'd gone into my local corner shop. You know, I've got this big rock on my finger. I'm not saying that to brag, please don't get me wrong, but I've gone in the shop, I've got my nice little long chum bag. Alright, it's not like a big flashy bag, it's a nice little modest bag. I'm smartly dressed, I've gone in there, and the shopkeeper's following me. But then the white, scruffily dressed customers who look really grungy and stuff, they've gone past without even a bat of an eyelid. And it was just so funny. I watched it, and then I watched Kenya Barris' show, and I was like, oh my god, I just get where this man is coming from. And that for me just made me able to watch the whole series. He's got another episode in there where he talks about black fathers. I don't think the show itself was great. I think the whole series, I think the writing feels a bit rushed, if I'm totally honest. I know it's a satire, I know it's a mockumentary, and I know that comes with a certain kind of style of storytelling, but I still feel like the characters felt underdeveloped, and all the jokes I think could have landed far better if it had taken a bit more time with the storytelling. But going back to the father episode, before I was a filmmaker, I used to work in social care, and I worked up and down England, Southend, Haringey, Hackney, Lewisham, Tower Hamlets. I worked everywhere, and I saw what goes on behind closed doors, and I saw white middle class mums complaining about absent fathers. I saw Indian families complaining about things that were going on with the fathers. I just saw a different slice of life of what it like. I've seen absent fathers from my generation, like in terms of growing up, like a lot of people in my category, their dads weren't around. And then my generation, every single black man I know, and I know a lot, are like, I've got many family members, many male friends, they're all brilliant dads, they're all in their kids' lives. And I don't know if that's because society has told them like black dads are bad and they don't want that to be their self-efficacy, or if it's because they had that experience where their dad wasn't in their life, so they know what that felt like and they made sure. And Kenya picks up on it brilliantly, you know, and they give you the statistical count, and that's being black as fuck. When you are changing what the white gaze is and what the white narrative is, and you're correcting it and you're pointing out certain things, to me that is black as fuck. And that's what I think needs to be a bigger question. Who gets to determine what is black? What is being black? You know, people took issue because his wife's mixed race and he's a kind of like a black ambiguous looking type of man. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, please people don't come for me with that. I just mean, if you look at me, you can straight away see I'm black, right? No mix, you can just see I'm black. With him, because you can see his hair is kind of straightish, wavyish, and his skin is very fair, so you don't straight away know that he is like black. You might think, okay, so what is his ethnic makeup? And I think people took issue with that, and I don't think that's necessarily fair. And like I said, I've got no problem with people wanting more representation. As a darker skinned person, I'd love to see more representation. And I think it's good that this has brought light to that, but I don't think it's fair to say that he cannot have a light-skinned family represent his family. Alright, that has been the conversation. That has been my review on Black as Fuck. So tell me what you think. If you've got any questions, any comments, drop it in the link below. I am going to get the rest of the girls on my vlog, because we do a vlog called The Hot Sauce, to look at reviewing some of this TV and film stuff and have a wider conversation about it when we come back together. If you've got any TV shows, if you've got any films you want us to review or you want to have a conversation about, drop it in the link below, follow me back, and let me know your thoughts on Black as Fuck.